Good day, everyone. I'm Joanne Pelpor, a student of Betheled Alpha, and today I will discuss the different learning styles, preferences, and hopefully you can identify your learning styles. So let's get started.
Hey, what are you studying?
I'm studying for my anatomy class.
Your drawings look really good.
Thanks. I'm a visual learner, so diagrams are helpful for me when I'm studying.
That makes sense. I wonder what type of learner I am.
Are you also wondering what is your learning style? So first, we will define the learning style. So what is learning style? Learning style is the unique collection of individual skills and preferences that affect how a person perceives, gathers, and processes information.
According to a 2008 review, only one study that followed this design found that students actually learn best with their preferred style.
When psychologists and educators test for learning styles, they're trying to figure out whether these are inherent traits that affects how well students learn instead of just a preference. They usually start by going on a survey to figure out what style of students favor. And they teach the students something with a specific presentation style. What would happen if the teaching style of a teacher and the learning style of a student mismatches? So as we see on screen, we have the phases of the effects of the mismatches of the teaching style and the learning style of students. So we have bored in class, do poorly on test, and frustration. So, nga naman ni? Okay? We have different learning styles. So, para dali ara mo sink in ang information or ang discussions ni Ma'am ug Sir, so naatay lain-lain nga learning styles. So, okay, to avoid these circumstances, the teacher should know the learning styles of the student to handle and provide for their needs in a way that benefits them the most. Different types of learning styles. So, visual learners can utilize graph, charts, maps, diagrams, and other forms of visual stimulation. Visual learning make up 65% of the population. So, the examples of this: when individuals learn best from visual displays, uses symbols, boxes, charts, and colors in their notes. So if you find yourself learning in this way, so you are a visual learner. So verbal learners favor using words and linguistic skills. They learn best when reading, speaking, or listening information. So some examples of verbal learners are: when a learner best learn when he write down notes, talk about concepts, speaking in public, and debating. So, what is kinesthetic learning? Kinesthetic or tactile learning is a learning style in which learning takes place by the students carrying out physical activities rather than listening to a lecture. So the examples are using gestures to represent key vocabulary words, designing graphics, and creating artwork to represent story concepts. So they like doing hands-on activities. So, auditory learners use words association to remember facts in lines, record lectures and watch videos, repeat facts with eyes closed, participate group discussions, record notes after writing them. So, the characteristics include tend to speak slowly, explain things well, tend to be natural listeners, tend to repeat things aloud, think linearly, read slowly, and prefer to hear rather than read information. So, Felder and Solomon 2003 present another model of learning style as follows. First is active and reflective learners. So, active learners tend to retain and understand best by doing something with it, discovering it, and applying it to others. And the reflective learners prefer to think about it quietly first. Number 3 is visual and verbal learners. Number 4 is sequential learners and global learners. So, sequential learners tend to gain understanding in linear steps, and the global learners tend to learn in large jumps, absorbing material and then suddenly getting it. So, kaning global learners, they are bored memorizing facts, and they would rather read experiences, stories, and anecdotes. So, they also prefer to work in groups than to work individually. So, Henry F. Salver classifies learning style, but before that, who is Harvey F. Salver? So, he is a president of Salver Strong and Associates and Thoughtful Education Press. So, he is the one of the most influential teachers in the country. So, Harvey Salver classifies it into 4 groups, such as we have the sensing thinking or mastery learner. Number 2, the intuitive thinking or understanding learner. And number 3 is the sensing, feeling, or interpersonal learner. So the sensing thinking learner, this kind of learner likes immediate responses and feedback, details and sequential order, hands-on activities with a specific correct answer. So sa intuitive feeling learner, this kind of learner likes learning without time constraints, praise for personal ideas and insights. So sa intuitive thinking learner, this kind of learner likes planning and organizing before working and working independently. So sa number 4 is sensing feeling learner. This kind of learner likes getting personal attention and praise and sharing feeling and experiences. Okay, it is the end of my discussion. Hopefully, naamoy niyo something. Thank you so much and God bless us all.